Ani Boju Bitaban Ganagoshing and Dao Wabshka Memengwan and Didinakas Odawa Kwe and Dao Mashikin and Dodum Waganakasing LTBB Odawa and Doda Bendigwas Gagan Wadvina and Dida Miigwech. And that was a formal greeting. And what I said was, I am the one who arrived at dawn. My name is White Butterfly. I'm Odawa woman, Turtle Clan. I'm a member of the people of the Crooked Tree, Little Traverse Bay Band of Odawa, and I live in Grand Rapids. Thank you. Nangwa Mampian Gichinendam. I'm happy we're all here today. So my language journey began several times, really, I guess, or a few times. I was adopted when I was 7 months old by non-native family, and when I was 21 years old, I was reunited with my birth mother and some siblings. So that was an exciting time. In 1996, we became tribal citizens. So there was a big enrollment that happened with the Little Traverse Bay Band. They were doing a land settlement from the 1800s, and they wanted to make sure they had as much membership available as possible to benefit from this settlement. And so we became tribally enrolled and recognized, and with our citizenship there was much excitement, and in 1999 started dancing in the powwow circle, and really a lot of things blossomed from those moments in my past. And actually in 1996 is when I first had my first language lesson. They sent an elder from the tribe. Little Traverse Bay Band is located in Harbor Springs. So they sent an elder educator here to Grand Rapids, and there were 8 weeks scheduled, and we made it through about 4, and then the elder, it was too much, traveling, and we didn't get to complete our lessons. But I kept those pages and the parts that we had already began. The tribe puts out a newsletter, and there's always language pages there, similar to the ones that we'll be using today when we talk a little bit more. So I've been trying to learn the language for 28 years. So more recently, in 2023, I did an online course with Bay Mills Community College and Anishinaabemowin beginners. And so we did a semester. They had some software issues, so they started again, and we did another, then we did the full year. So I'm still on pause for the intermediate year because some of the staffing has changed and so forth. But I keep those lessons in my heart. It's been a journey. So with that, we can kind of turn our attention to the language sheets. I'm going to start by talking about this first sheet, like this one. And so the Anishinaabemowin sound and syllable chart. One thing, just by glancing at this, you may not probably notice, but there is not the letter R. The letter R and that sound is not in our language. And you see our vowel sounds are up at the top. A, E, O, E, A, I, O. And so that's the top line I just read. And then the English sounds are translated there. And the Anishinaabemowin, Mang, so fa, father, Mang, and that means loon. That's one of the clans. And Mishkin, C-E-E, that double I makes the E sound. Mishikin, turtle, that's me, Mishikin and Doldum. So it's important to tell our clan when we're making our introductions. So that's something I've started to be able to pick out when other people do their formal introductions. Amo, like note, amo, the little B. Pakane, pakane, bed, that's grasshopper. Miigwech, that's another clan. Miigwech is the bear. Miigwech, just the not the E sound. There's an I, it's an I there, but it's not two I's, so it's not that. So Miigwech and Wagosh, fox. At the bottom, it starts to kind of demonstrate that those little inflections of the long A, the short A, will change the meaning of the word, such as, let's see, nibish is water, nibish is leaf. See how that goes? And Miigwech, the dog is barking. Miigwech, no, it ran off my page. I am so sorry, I can't see that, but I know it says something different. So yeah, and then the manda and the manda and manda. So manda, this is animate. Manda, that's amazing, awesome. That's just a little sampling. And then the next thing I wanted us to go over is this happy sheet, and we did a lot of this with my Anishinaabemowin class, and also there was a community class, and this is very helpful because it just trains your vocal cords and gets you used to the sounds. It's color coded because that's the way you follow the chart. So if you're starting with the purple color here, you pick up with the purple color down here and go to the blue color here and the blue color there. So let's try that. It says ba, ji, jo, che, za, ye, wo. Da, bi, jo, she, cha, zi, yo. Ga, di, bo, je, sha, che, zo. Ja, gi, do, be, ja, she, cho. We'll do one more. Ka, ji, go, de, ba, ji, sho. I hope that you're taking turns trying that, and you can practice some more maybe after this little video happens. The next thing I would like to talk about as far as the language and the structure. The structure of the language actually has the reverse order. So and when you think about languages of people, the like Latin language, for instance, is very old. Many medical words are based on the Latin language, and you can go pretty much anywhere and sign up to learn how to speak French or Spanish or German, Polish. All those languages are preserved and teachable. I feel like there's probably plenty of people that speak those languages. For Anishinaabemowin and all the tribal languages, they vary, they're unique, they have their own dialect. Even within the Three Fires in the state of Michigan, in the Three Fires, the Potawatomi, and then the Odawa and the Ojibwe people, even between just our three fires, we have different ways of saying the same words. The one that I always share is that my teaching is that the word for dog for Odawa is Nimash, and for Ojibwe it's Mukwaji. Pretty different sounding, but still means dog. So there's a lot of learning going on across that way as well. Well, let's talk about some root words anyway. So on this first sheet where there's the fire extinguisher in the top here, and obviously, these words have been made, since things have been invented. And but Nibish is water, and Nibish So that's water. And it's a root word for this over here, nibishabu, which means tea. So tea, T-E-A, is nibishabu when you're saying Anishinaabemowin. Another example here for once you learn some root words, you'll start to see them again. Our language is very descriptive. It tells you what you're seeing. It describes what you're seeing, basically. So pabwin is chair. Over here, we have optical pabwin, and that means bench. So optical, unfortunately, I'm not quite sure the meaning of that, but it could mean just, a short version, something like that. But we're still seeing pabwin, so we know it's a kind of chair. And then dopwin, that word table is just a plain root word, but we added here the word noki, and noki means work, so then it's a work table, which means desk. Literally, you're describing the table that you work at is your desk. Noki dopwin. Let's go to the next sheet. So this is the one that's got the noki tasawin at the top, and that just means work cupboard. So there's that word again, noki, work. Tasawin was actually on that first page we looked at, and that means cupboard. So the work cupboard. And there's the root word of dolkwin. Dolkwin is the table. These are some pretty big, complicated words on this page, isn't it? One thing that I did pick out from here is this camera, Mizinagazin, is the root word of mizin, is up here with the word picture. So there's one more page, and this one I chose because it's office supplies, it's school supplies. So I thought, oh, wouldn't that be interesting, to try and some of those words. One of the tricks that I learned while we were having our language classes is that not only if you have the phonetic spelling, and right now I'm going with the stapler because I've labeled my stapler at my desk at work, and I'm trying to learn it, and it's going to be hard. You have to do a lot of repeating, and that's the thing with our language is it's a spoken language. So it helps to say it out loud. It helps to, integrate it into, your conversations from English, just inserting the Anishinaabemowin where you know the words. And but here's this trick, was that when it's a long word, if you don't have it phonetically spelled out for you, what you do is you start at the back syllable. So the end syllable, and then keep adding on and work your way up. So follow along. For the word stapler, it ends in gan, jigan, shkojigan, dok shkojigan, mandok shkojigan. For some reason, it works. It helps it flow out after you've started from the end. Let's try rubber band. It ends in shkan, bikshkan, she bikshkan, jashi bikshkan. Still pretty complicated, right? Let's try one more that way. Oh, I labeled my tape dispenser at work also. So let's try that one, starting from the back and adding the syllables to the front to say it all the way. Gan, zagan, gak zagan, the gak zagan, swed zak. Oh, I can't even do it. Let's try one more time. Zagan, gak zagan, de gak zagan, swed zak. Swed gak zagan, bo swed gak zan, jibak swed zak. All right, so the struggle is real, right? And I appreciate just having that time to kind of share a little bit of that with like I said, with the journey of trying to learn the language. I'm hoping that you will be able to view the short film by Shane McZabi entitled Minobin And Minobin means the good life, and so that is really what we each seek, what we each need, and makes us in balance as Minobin. So it's our connection with each other, with the earth, with Creator. All those things together make us complete, and so our language makes us complete. And for many of us, it's been this struggle. It's been this journey to relearn and reclaim the language. Our fluid language speakers are few and far between. I'm so grateful that we've started these efforts of putting these things into print and making videos and making sure that this language is preserved for future generations, and it's very important. And the reason it was lost is because of the residential schools and the colonization that tried to squelch the very language of our people. It is a unique gift, and it has a living and breathing place in our lives. So it's been a struggle to keep it with us, and I'm so glad that it is. There are many people that are better at speaking it than others, that are more fluent, and it's hard for citizens that aren't speaking the language to feel like they're missing out. I know I bought some jewelry from a woman, and her daughter had made it, and I said, "Oh, Miigwech." I said, "Ngajwi, thank you, it's beautiful." And she goes, "Oh, no, I don't speak that. I don't think I can do that anymore," or something like that. And I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry," and you just don't know if that person was directly affected from the residential school, if what their struggle is, but it's one of those things that, like I said, I'm just so grateful that it's being put into print, and that people are trying to preserve it. And in Minabin Radiswan, in the movie, I think that's part of the importance of the main character, is that little seed was put back there when he was young, and he was introduced to it. He heard something about it, and then when it came forth to his to a time later in his life, he was able to go back and reach to it and embrace it, and then help it grow and have life again, and still. And I think that's all that I had to share today. Miigwech again for at least allowing me to send this video. I do so wish I could have been there with you all today. And hopefully, if you have another gathering, maybe I would get to come and see you in person. I would offer a smudging. And I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day. And if you're going to watch Minabin Madiswan, I hope that you enjoy that as well. And Miigwech. We don't have a word for goodbye in our Anishinaabemowin language. We say Bama Pi Kawabamin, and that means until we see you again, see you later. And the reason is because if we pass away from this life, if we walk on through the western door, we'll see each other again in the spirit. And so we just don't have a word for goodbye. We say Bama Pi Kawabamin. Miigwech.